go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Gonna probably be the first thing of, okay, I might run in there to grab something, but I'm not gonna go hang out there with my friends.
In the last 2 weeks, there have been at least 2 fights inside West Acres Mall, and management is doing something about it.
While we don't know the details, Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero spoke to shoppers who say they feel less safe after the recent acts of violence.
The scene at West Acres Mall this weekend was chaotic and violent. A brawl broke out involving several teens, at times grabbing chairs and throwing them at each other in the food court. Another punching someone on the floor. Several shoppers looked on, some protecting their kids. It was a fight Christine Walkwin says lasted between 5 to 10 minutes.
Like, you had people calling 911 and just like almost like the whole food court and just sheer panic.
Walkwin says the child she was with was traumatized by what went on.
Like, this was a huge event for her. Like, she was just silent. Like, getting her out of the mall was awful.
Walkwin says she's upset mall staff took so long to respond.
It almost should have just been ended faster than it was, and it wasn't.
It's estimated nearly a dozen teens were involved in the brawl, and Fargo police say they've been identified. Mall management says the teens are banned from West Acres. They're also defending how their security responded, saying they were there within 90 seconds of being notified. When it comes to safety at the mall, management tells us they're not going to disclose what they do and how they do it, but they do say that safety is a top priority for their shoppers. The mall has seen other fight-related trouble recently. People we spoke with say it's the third one in the past 2 weeks. Mall management would only confirm 2 such incidents.
You hear stories from your friends, from your family, from your neighbors, about different events that have gone on at this mall, and you're just like, wow, like, what happened to West Acres?
Walkwin says she plans to continue going to the mall, but doesn't plan on hanging out there anytime soon. In Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
West Acres Mall describes their surveillance system as being robust and that their officers have body cameras. They won't tolerate such incidents, they say, at the mall.
A little sunshine was nice to see again today, and temps remain pretty good for early February in the valley. Let's check in with Hutch, who's here with your No Wait weather planner. Hutch?
Well, it just felt like a lot of sunshine today, and in fact, each and every day we're gaining about 3 minutes of extra sunshine on our day. Now, it wasn't very warm, and in fact, temperatures cooling quickly. Thief River Falls, you are at 1 degree, 3 in Roseau. A little warmer for Jamestown. We have 18 degrees there. Crystal clear skies are going to allow for some pretty rapid cooling early this evening, but Hutch has good news. Take a look at your hour-by-hour planner. Bundle up this evening. South winds will make it feel breezy. By the time we head to bed and overnight, south winds will warm temperatures up. It looks like temperatures will be warmer for many on our hump day on Wednesday. Details on that. We have a few flakes of snow to talk about in the forecast, and we'll look ahead toward that weekend here in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Hutch.
The investigation into whether Bishop Michael Hopner of the Diocese of Crookston interfered with inquiries into clerical sexual misconduct will apparently continue. Judge Timothy O'Malley has been delegated to investigate claims that the bishop engaged in acts or omissions intended to interfere or avoid civil investigations. It was also decided that the Archbishop Bernard Hebda will have the power to deal with cases of sexual abuse against priests of the Crookston Diocese.
He says, "Get me out of here, get me out of here. You got to get it off of me." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Can you get me out of here?" And I said, "No, I can't." And right away, he hops out.
After coming out of a North Fargo restaurant, a man says he was surprised to find a bleeding, incoherent man in the back of his car. It happened in the 1100 block of 19th Avenue North Saturday afternoon, with Fargo police saying it was a mental health call. Officials at Prairie St. John's says if you find yourself in a similar situation, it's important to call 911 right away, adding, speak to the person in a calming voice and do not raise your hands. But they also say sometimes staying out of the way is best for everyone involved.
A Fargo businesswoman's appeal has been denied for a second time as she tried to clear her name of wrongdoing. Susan Bala, the founder of a former horse race betting company in North Dakota, spent 17 months in federal prison before an appeals court overturned her 2005 conviction, citing lack of evidence. Well, today, the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals rejected her effort to obtain a certificate of innocence for the second time. In April of 2017, the state approved paying Bala back $15.8 million in taxes.
A sentence was handed down to a Bemidji woman who nearly killed her special needs daughter. A Beltrami County judge sentenced Karen Ganetta to 5 years of probation. Ganetta pleaded guilty last year to several child abuse charges. She's still in jail for time served, but if she violates her probation, she can serve up to 18 months in state prison. Ganetta is also prohibited from having any contact with her adult daughter. Investigators found the woman last October malnourished and severely dehydrated.
President Donald Trump will give his State of the Union address tonight. We're told the theme is the Great American Comeback. It'll include several topics, including working families, health care, immigration, and national security.
I think there's going to be a real focus on the strong economy, how we've cut taxes, cut the regulatory burden, we're getting this economic growth. And something that I've worked on a lot, I think you'll hear the president talk about tonight, and that's these trade agreements, whether it's the Phase 1 trade agreement with China, USMCA, which we just passed, the agreement with Japan, or the trade agreement with the European Union. All of these are really important for our farmers and ranchers. So I think the economy, the growth in the economy, in wages and income, I think that'll be a big part of it tonight.
The State of the Union starts at 8 o'clock tonight. You can watch it here on Valley News Live, online, and on our VNL News app.
Beware of a new phone scam that's currently sweeping the United Kingdom and could hit the United States soon. The scam involves a police officer asking the victim to either hand over their bank details, transfer funds, or withdraw cash for collection. Officials say you should hang up if you ever have any doubts about someone who's calling you, and make sure you've hung up all the way before trying to call someone else. Also, never give out your PIN number. Banks will never ask for it. And never give bank cards to anyone at your door, even if they say they're from the bank.
Those who live in rural North Dakota are likely used to traveling, sometimes quite a distance, when they need to see their doctor, of course, and when it comes to long-term care, that becomes an even greater burden. However, a new Human Services grant is working to change that. The North Dakota Department of Human Services is setting aside $50,000 to improve access to in-home care in rural areas.
This effort really is intended to expand the number of qualified service providers as well as their capacity to provide more of the services that we're able to offer them in their home.
Interested qualified service providers are limited to then $10,000 per recipient.
Concordia College has announced who will fill the shows of Renee Clausen, who is retiring at the end of the school year. Michael Culleton will take over the program in the fall of 2020. He has been a part of Concordia's music department faculty since 2012.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, efforts continue to get voter approval for recreational marijuana. What's being done around here?
And sunshine today on a very cool Tuesday afternoon. The setting sun out in the western sky really was beautiful. A lot of photos you've shared with us, including this owl. Desiree, thanks for uploading. And this unknown species of bird getting into the bird feeder. Shame on you, Rambo. Your forecast is next.